Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our City Council meeting. Tonight, the Pledge of Allegiance will be recited by Councilmember Dewey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Maggie. Roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Here.
Councilmember Dewey,
Here.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Here.
Councilmember Ward,
Here.
Councilmember Wirtz,
Here.
Councilmember Gibbons,
Here.
Councilmember Sears.
Here.
Thank you. Before we start, Mr. Hessel, will you enter into the minutes, the council meeting remotely during emergency?
I will, Mayor. Section 610.015 of the Missouri statutes provides that the city council can meet remotely when an emergency exists, and in fact, they can vote on all matters coming before them when an emergency exists. So let the record reflect that we are still, unfortunately, in this pandemic, and we would ask the minutes to reflect that the city council is meeting remotely for their own safety as well as the safety of the general public.
Thank you, John. We will go to public comments.
The public comments portion of the meeting is an opportunity for the city council to listen to comments from citizens. It is not a question and answer session, and the city council will not respond to comments or answer questions during this period. The mayor may refer any matter brought up to the city council to the chief administrative officer or city clerk if action is needed. If there is anybody wishing to make a public comment, if you would please state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie.
There are no hands raised, Mayor.
All right. Thank you, Freddie. We will then move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
We've got a motion and a second. Councilmember Ward has asked that item B, resolution 93, 2021, be removed consent agenda. So that item will be moved as item number 4 under new business. So with that, any questions or comments? Councilmember Gibbons.
I'd just like to have the minutes reflect that on the mixed use development, I abstained.
You know what? On the minute, correct. Let's see. Let's bear with me a second here. Yeah, Laura, do you see that? Bear with me. I go back to the minutes from last.
Resolution.
Resolution 92, 2021. Yes. So that is correct. Laurie, can you make that correction in the minutes that Councilmember Gibbons abstained?
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. Thank you for picking that up, Liz. All right. All right, then all in favor of the consent agenda with item B removed, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say no. All right. Consent agenda passes. We'll move to unfinished business, Bill 10895.
Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance amending the Kirkwood Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, Article 3, Section 14-166, to add language pertaining to driving while license or driving privilege is canceled, suspended, or revoked penalty.
Any questions or comments from council? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wirtz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gibbons,
Yes.
Councilmember Sears.
Yes.
Bill passes. Bill 10897.
Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance appropriating $2,805,526 to the federal ARPA fund account and appropriate $500,000 to the machinery and equipment account, project number AD 2202.
Any questions or comments from council? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gibbons,
Yes.
Councilmember Sears.
Yes.
Bill passes. Bill 10898.
Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance adopting a revised City of Kirkwood classification and pay plan.
All right, any questions, comments from council? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gibbons,
Yes.
Councilmember Sears.
Yes.
Bill passes. Move to new business, Bill 10899.
Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance appropriating $124,623 from the general fund balance to the other professional services account for forestry operations.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We've got a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on the bill? Councilmember Gibbons.
I think it would be important for citizens to know the costs involved with these storms. So, I would just suggest that Freddie put in an email or newsletter that goes out or something.
Yeah. Councilmember Zimmer.
Yeah, I second that. I think it's good to know, we had some citizen comments during the second storm. And one of the reasons is it's not an insignificant amount to clean this up. And I definitely want the citizens to be aware of the cost of each one of these storms because, the amounts are very similar. So I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Dewey.
I would go no further than to say, I agree. I think people should know.
Yeah. Russ, do you have an issue with?
No.
Freddie
I will
communicate
be glad
that?
to direct Freddie. Well, Freddie's hearing this right now,
Well,
so
okay.
he probably has an idea of what I'll be talking with him about tomorrow.
Okay. All right. All right. Anything else from council? All right, then all in favor of first reading approval, please say aye.
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 All opposed, say no. All right, bill passes first reading. Resolution 95, 2021.
Mayor and Council, this is a resolution amending the contract with Lockmuller Group by increasing the contract amount by $73,177.65 for a not to exceed amount of $280,882.50 for additional engineering services for the West Essex Water Main Replacement Project and authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an amended contract.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Approval.
We've got a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on the resolution? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gibbons,
Yes.
Councilmember Sears.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Resolution 96, 2021.
Mayor and Council, this is a resolution approving a second one-year extension to the approval of ordinance 10627, granting a special use permit and site plan approval for motor vehicle sales at 10230 and 10240 Manchester Road.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on the resolution? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gibbons,
Yes.
Councilmember Sears.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Then the item from the consent agenda, Resolution 93, 2021.
Mayor and Council, this is a resolution accepting the single source proposal of Pitney Bowes in the amount of $41,390 for the Relay 7000 inserting machine for the Finance Department and authorizing and directing the Director of Procurement to issue a purchase order.
Is there a motion for approval?
Move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Councilmember Ward, I'll defer to you first since you asked that it be taken off the consent agenda.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I asked Mr. Hawes if he could have someone give us a little overview of this piece of equipment. And what I was most concerned with is one, that we've got a single source supplier for this piece of equipment. And I was wondering if that is not indicative of where the market is going. You know, I'll use the pejorative term snail mail is disappearing quickly from our lexicon, and our postage rates are going to continue to climb. I was wondering if we had any opportunities, one, to understand whether there's been a reduction in our use of snail mail and where legally possible. And if not, could we incentivize customers who have internet capabilities to do that rather than handling paper?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be glad to touch on that. And I also have Sandy here because it's her department that uses this machine on a pretty much daily basis. But certainly there have been changes to the mail operations in the United States. U.S. mail is not functioning as efficiently or as effectively, I would say, as what their leadership would want. And there's been quite a bit of discussion about slowdowns of first-class mail and so forth. And we're not blind to that by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, over the past few years, the city has initiated more and more opportunities for citizens to take advantage of electronic billing. And we advertise that as best we can. I would say that Kirkwood residents are sometimes slow to respond to change. And I understand Mr. Ward's suggestion that, or Councilmember Ward's suggestion that there may be a way to incentivize some folks to go to change. And I think we could certainly look at that to lessen the need for us to pack these letters, which this machine basically does, is it folds and separates and creates a really nicely packed letter. But we do bill all our utilities by U.S. mail, except for those who opt in for electronic. And we really don't have a huge amount of people relatively compared to the overall amount of business that we do in billing that have opted in for the electronic billing. I'm going to send it over to Sandy a little bit because she's most clear on the amount of people who are participating and the efforts that we've put forth. So Sandy, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, my camera stopped working. I'm not sure why. But Russ really covered the bulk of it. But some of the things that we have been, I would say for the last 3 to 4 years, been offering e-billing, and we are just really struggling with our customers wanting to accept this. Or if they do accept e-billing, they also still want to receive their paper statement. So this has been a very slow process, and I think my camera's working now. We have been and still intend on trying to encourage our customer base to do that, but that's going to be a long range program, and probably as we get into our new ERP system, we might have a little more success in getting people to accept the e-billing. But another thing, that this machine is just not used for our utility bills alone. It's used for
different projects from other departments, such as when engineering has bulk mailing or anybody else in the city, they come to our department and this machine is utilized there. It's utilized for our business license renewals, our W-9s or 1099s. And also lately with this machine, it's been down more and more often. And what happens is we've had periods of times where the mail could not be sent out for 3 days. Well, what that does is that delays our cash flow within the city. And you're talking on a monthly basis, our utility bills bring in anywhere from about 2.5 million to over 3 million on a monthly basis. So this is something that we don't want to delay any more than we have to. And so I would like to say also that it is our intention to try to do businesses electronically, but I can't tell you how long that will take for us to get to that point.
Okay. Well, thank you, Sandy and Russ. I know I got to you late with that request for that information, but yeah, I appreciate it.
Bob. I think Tim has stepped out, so
That sounds, it looks like he's, yes. So, well, thank you. I appreciate all that explanation, and I'm glad that Wallace chose to select this one to pull. But I just wanted to make the comment that it's great if we can move more people to the electronic side of things. As far as billing, I'm on it. I'm on billing, and I also receive the statement, although I suppose I don't need to, but I like it. But I could stop it. But what I would want to keep in mind is that a lot of times we send important information along with it in the flyer that we send. And sometimes that's very important information we need to get out to people. And in fact, I remember I assumed it only went to Kirkwood Electric, but since we have water and everything, I guess it goes to everyone in Kirkwood. So it's actually a good resource. So if we are a good opportunity to communicate with residents, so my suggestion is, if we think about transitioning more and more people to electronic, we'll still need a way to make sure we're getting that information that used to be in the insert out to folks.
Yeah, we're still legally obligated for some documentation to be sent by mail. So, until that goes away, there'll always be some use of mail, snail mail.
Liz, did you have a question?
I just wondered if the business license renewals, do those go out ever via e-billing?
No, not at this time. The process isn't set up for that. But like I said, as we move to our new ERP system, I see a lot of these abilities changing, that we may go that route with our businesses as well.
I'm sorry, everyone. I lost everybody, so I apologize.
Maggie did a good job of handling.
Yeah, I don't know. I just totally lost everyone. My video hasn't even come back yet, so I am sorry for that. So
The deputy mayor stepped right up. So
thanks. I'm sorry about that. So
No worries.
where are we?
yeah.
I think we're finished with comments about the consent agenda.
All right, very good. Thank you so much, Maggie. So, any city council reports?
Oh, Hank,
Oh,
we do have to have
I think we still need to vote.
I'm
We still need
sorry.
to vote on the consent agenda.
All right, okay, so, all right, for resolution 93, 2001, roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz,
Yes.
Councilmember Givens,
Yes.
Councilmember Sears.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Now we'll go to city council reports. Anything to report? Member Zimmer.
Yes, for those of us that participated last weekend, for Hands on Kirkwood. It was a great turnout. The weather kind of affected us a little bit. I know when I was picking up bags, I got a little bit wet, but that's okay. And, the generosity of our citizens is always so impressive. And thank you to everyone that gave your time and your effort, as well as your goods and services to the city. So thank you very much to everybody that participated.
Thank you. Councilmember Ward.
Yeah, and the rain also dampened the spirits a little bit over there for the police station, open house, police department. But it was a good day. It was a busy day overall. I did have an opportunity to duck in for the ribbon cutting for the shaved duck restaurant housed inside Kirkwood Schnooks there on Woodlawn and Kirkwood. So welcome them to the community.
Yeah. Councilmember Gibbons.
I just want to acknowledge the Green Tree Committee and the recreation staff for putting on an incredible festival. I believe it was something that we were all in need of. And it was a fantastic weekend, and they are to be commended for an effort that was pivoting the whole time that they were trying to develop it. And I think it came off beautifully. So
it did. Thank you. Councilmember Dewey, you had a hand up.
Yes, I don't know if you all remember, I've been part of what's called Champions. It's Smart Growth America for a number of months. And I believe we met virtually 6 times, and today was the last meeting. And we all reported on what we had been doing. And mostly I reported on how far we've gotten with Vision Zero and Complete Streets. It was a good program. They've already started the second one. And we've been all invited to hang out with the second one. And so it was a good program, and I learned a lot.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for reporting. Councilmember Ward?
Yeah, I almost forgot, Marion, you were in attendance. Mission Park neighborhood welcomed the Kirkwood School District's central office relocation into Turner School this past Saturday. So it was a great event and well attended.
Yeah, thank you. Anything else from council before I somehow lose internet again? Okay. All right. Seeing nothing, Chief Administrative Officer report.
Yes, Mayor and Council, the city has received an application for a liquor license from First Watch Restaurants Incorporated, 491 South Kirkwood Road, to sell intoxicating liquor by the drink plus Sunday. And we would ask for a voice vote from council.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Councilmember Gibbons.
are there hours changing, Russ?
I'm not aware of any change to hours, but I do not know specifically.
Because they're breakfast and lunch, I guess.
It's a good point. I guess you can have a beer with your lunch.
Mimosa or
something,
something.
that's a
Okay.
good point.
I think it's probably mostly for mimosas and things along those lines to get more of a brunch feel. But that's just speculation on my part.
As they say, it's dinner time someplace.
Oh,
We'll have to try it out. Find out.
All right, any other questions or comments on this? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. All right, motion passes.
All right. There's also another application for a liquor license. This from Revel Kitchen, 11215 Manchester Road, to sell intoxicating liquor by the drink plus Sunday. And this again needs a voice vote.
All right, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion, we have a second?
second.
All right, a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion passes. Anything else, Russ?
No, that's all I have right now,
All
Mayor.
right. City Attorney report.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
All right. City Clerk report.
Yes, Your Honor, I have the report of, excuse me, the October 6th, 2021 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. The following action was taken. By a vote of 6-0, the commission recommended approval of the request for a special use permit for outdoor dining and site plan review for Four Hands / Down by the Station at 150 West Argonne Drive. This item will be scheduled for a public hearing. By a vote of 6-0, the commission recommended approval of zoning code text amendments regarding parking rates for educational institutes. This item will also be scheduled for a public hearing. We currently do not have any scheduled public hearings, but those two items will be coming up soon and we will update you when they get scheduled. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Laurie. Well, with that, our next meeting will be 7 p.m. on October 21st, and this meeting is adjourned. See everyone later.
Good.
Night.
Take care.
Aye.